Hey folks, it's Jang here from ultimaterc.com with something a little funny. And this is an unboxing, a quick unboxing of a Traxxas 1/8 scale funny car. But that's not what makes this a little bit funny. Those of you who actually follow along with the videos that I put out as I put them out are already like, what the heck? And you know what I'm talking about. But this is just going to be a quick one, so I'm not going to go super in-depth with this. I'm just going to show you what's inside the box, what you get, and then you'll see more once it gets around to driving time and review time. Get this thing out of here. Come on, come on. Okay, yes, this is it. First off, stuff that you don't really care that much about. There's a manual in here. There's a warranty card here. There's some extra stickers that say Traxxas here. There are some cheap little tools, and there is one battery hold down extension plate that helps you to run taller 3S batteries. So I'm going to put all that stuff aside because I know you don't really care about that stuff that much. Moving on though, this does come with the TQI, the new top qualifier I edition radio system, 2.4 gigahertz, no big antenna here, nothing to extend out. And this one is a 4-channel controller that is programmable. It does have the 2 little buttons on top this time, just like the Traxxas Link. But here is the Traxxas Funny Car itself, and this is the Courtney Force edition. This is the one that they popularized most with their marketing materials and such, because it's all done up just like the full-scale one is actually done up like this, or at least was for a time, for John Force's little girl, not so little anymore, very fast, full-scale funny car. This is a very nice replica of it. Like I said, it's an 8th scale vehicle, very large, significantly larger than a standard 1/10 scale on-road car, and they've just done a great job of replicating the look as well as the proportions and everything of the full-scale car, even down to the placement of the decals all the way around. So very, very good looking vehicle when you first get it out of the box. It's got the proper tiny little tires and wheels at the front. It's got some bigger ones at the rear, but I'm really going to this time let you know about something a little funky and interesting that they did with the tires on this one. Big old air dam and spoiler on the back of the body, and also they do have an adjustable wheelie bar back here with one little wheel. It doesn't spin very easily. It's probably a ball bearing option upgrade for that, but there's a adjustable turnbuckle here that lets you change the angle of this, and it'll change the position of the wheel, and it will really get up on that wheelie bar. If you have enough traction and you launch well, it will do a little wheelie on there. So that is very, very functional. And then here's, in my opinion, probably the coolest thing about the car, aside from the fact that it'll do 70 miles an hour on a 3-cell battery, but look at that. No body pins. I just reached under the front bumper and pulled a little pull here. It's just a little thing that you squeeze, and up it goes, realistic style, opening up, exposing the chassis. You can remove the entire body, but it requires removing 2 very long shoulder bolts. So I'm not actually going to do that for this video, but I'm just going to let you peek underneath there to see what it looks like underneath. You can see they actually replicated a tube frame style chassis for this thing. You know, they went above and beyond with the realism, even the stuff that you can't normally see when the body is down. So that's really cool. They even have a fake little fuel tank up front here. This does have independent suspension, so the front suspension has actually a rocker arm style. You can see, just barely you can see in here are the 2 shocks, and they're just activated on rocker arms, which are one piece with the upper wishbones. And these are proprietary wheels up front. They have bearings inside of them. They come with rubber sealed bearings. And those shocks, incidentally, are a lot of people make fun of how many releases that Traxxas does on the 1/16th scale e-Revo platform. And finally, here's a vehicle that's not based on the 1/16th scale e-Revo platform, but it does have a good number of parts from that, such as those shocks. Those are the MERV shocks at the front, and it's also got MERV shocks at the rear, believe it or not. It also has a MERV little 2080 mini steering servo right here. I'm going to adjust my angle here and let you zoom in just a little bit so you can see just a little bit closer to the detail. Here's a receiver box, and then this is the ESC. You're not going to see it all that well right here, but it is made by Castle Creations, but it is not a Mamba Max Pro. It looks a lot like a Mamba Max Pro. It's probably using the exact same case, but this is a specialized, whoa, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. It's a specialized ESC that has all those extra features that allow you to change its mode from the receiver. And this one is actually rated for 3S use in this vehicle right here. The battery compartment is just beneath, or just behind that. And here's another thing that they did really well, just very simple ergonomic stuff here, user-friendliness, usability. To get to the battery tray is here, and you can see the roll cage kind of continues back, even has a little cage over where a driver would sit. But that is the battery tray, and you can just pull here. This opens up, the battery is going to load in right in there, and it's going to sit nice and low and fairly far back to give you extra traction. And again, I said I'm not going to take the body off, but I will give you a peek at the suspension back here. It uses basically a 3-link suspension. This is a sway bar, not a very effective one at that, but it does have a sway bar on here. This is one of the links, and it has another link on the other side, so that makes 2. The 3rd link is up here in the driver's compartment, and it starts here, and it goes back. Let's see if I can get that lined up. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. You can see it going back there. So basically a 3-link setup, which obviously is not going to give you, for folks who are familiar with linked suspension, it's not going to give you triangulation to help keep the axle properly located left to right. To take care of that, they've got another little doodad under here, which is not really acting as a link, but it's a pillow ball stolen off of a monster truck. From the spare parts bin. I like reuse of parts very much. And this pillow ball, I'm going to go ahead and activate the suspension here. You can see how this is able to move up and down. That pillow ball right there is actually sliding inside of a groove. So the axle can twist, has that twisting motion left to right, but it's not able to shift left to right. It's just going to go, it's always going to be centered relative to the chassis. The little squeaking that you hear is actually that pillow ball squeaking against the fake chrome covered plastic that is making up the 2 main chassis halves, which also goes all the way into that groove right there. While I've got this upside down, you can see the motor, and it says 4-pole on it, and it says Castle up here. It is the Castle 2400 kV motor that they originally shipped with their Mamba Max SCT Pro combo, I believe it is. It is rated to be used at up to 5S, but not with this version of the ESC that's included here. But that is a super crazy torquey motor. 4-pole unit, sensorless, like I mentioned, and it gives almost direct drive to the rear axle. It actually drives, it goes from pinion to spur, and spur is directly connected onto center diff. It does have a sealed center diff, so there is some diff action there. You can adjust that, but it comes preset with a certain amount of thickness to it, so it's not completely open, but it is partially. And yep, that's just about that, except for one last thing. I said that they did something funky with the rear tires, and here it is. If you just zoom in, see that seam right there? Right there? Yeah. Well, this side over here is tire. This side over here is wheel. That's actually hard plastic. The tire itself is not a high profile, it's low profile. It's a regular on-road style tire. It's actually a belted slick. And it just so happens that this is not a new tire. They didn't develop a new tire specifically for this because they already had developed a perfectly good high-speed tire for the Traxxas X01. Aha! So they already did that, and they just decided to be smart and save money and avoid duplicating efforts. They took the Traxxas X01 tire and they put it on a wheel just like they did with the what was that? The 1/16th scale NAS truck, the NASCAR Craftsman truck number 16, whatever that was. Based on the Mini Revo chassis, they did the same sort of thing with a high profile faux wheel and then a low profile, more standard sized tire. So that's what they did here. Same thing. And now you've already got a source of tires available. And from my understanding, so far these X01 tires are actually holding up pretty well, even with the speeds that the X01 goes, which can be upwards of 100 miles per hour and beyond even. So those should hold up pretty well, and they've just reused them here on this also fast vehicle. It's supposed to go 70 miles per hour with the stock motor and the stock ESC with a 3S LiPo pack. So that's that, my quick unboxing of the Traxxas 1/8 scale Funny Car. If you want to see a longer version of this that goes into more detail, well, I've already got a video of that, of a different one. Well, it's the same car, not quite. Different car, but the same thing. How do I explain that? I got two of these. I've unboxed both of them. So if this is the first unboxing that you've seen and for some reason you want to see more of the same thing before I have a chance to get the review out, because you know I can take a while to get my reviews done because I actually spend time driving and messing with the things before I put my review out. Obviously this here is not a review in any way, it's just an overview. I've got my longer version of an unboxing of the John Force version, the nice green one that's a lot more recognizable for NHRA actual fans. So thank you very much for watching this, and I will be driving this and I will be racing it against the other one. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you again soon.